Welcome to the Secrets of the Bible channel. Have you ever wondered about the origin of all nations? It is interesting to know that the Bible addresses the origin of the peoples of the world, revealing that they all originate from Noah. Follow me on this new journey and video series on our channel where we will discuss the patriarchs of humanity, the ancestors of all nations. In the previous video, we addressed the Semitic peoples, descendants of Shem. Today, we will address the origin of African peoples, specifically the black people, who are the Hamites, descendants of Ham. I invite you to hit the like button, and after watching the video, share your comments and help us reach more people with our content. Together, let's discover the origin of Ham, the ancestral father of the blacks. After the great flood that devastated the world, Noah and his family emerged as the only survivors of humanity. God then instructed them to repopulate the earth. They were a total of 8 people, including Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the wives of the sons. The Bible also tells the origin of the black people, revealing who was the ancestor of this ancient people. Discover the history of the African people in Genesis, chapter 10, verses 6 to 20. To understand the origin of the black people, it is important to first grasp who was the father of this ethnic group. In this context, we need to know the appearance of Noah, the great ancestral father of all humanity, and also understand how his wife was. Both Noah and his wife were of mixed race, meaning they had ancestry from various ethnicities. This diversity resulted in children with different skin tones, colors, and features, reflecting the ethnic variety present in their family. In Brazil, for example, the mixture of ethnicities is a remarkable characteristic due to its history of colonization by the Portuguese, the presence of native indigenous peoples, and the arrival of African slaves. This ethnic diversity has made Brazil a nation where virtually all origins from around the world come together, resulting in one of the largest mixed-race populations on the planet. It is then quite common to see siblings with different colors and ethnicities in Brazil and various countries, with Mexico being a notable example of this feature. Mexico has a significant population of mestizos, descendants of the intermixing between native indigenous peoples and European colonizers, mainly Spanish. The son of Noah, who gave rise to the African people, the black people, was called Ham. Ham is considered the father of the African people, and it is through him and his wife that the black people originated. If there is an interest in learning more about the history of Ham's wife or the wives of Noah's sons, there is a video available on the channel to explore these subjects. Within the linguistics of the meanings of names in the Bible, it is fascinating and interesting to note that the name Ham holds a specific connotation in Hebrew and Aramaic. Ham literally means of the color of something burnt, in other words, something dark. This suggests that Ham was described as a man with dark skin. The meanings of biblical names often relate to the ethnic and physical traits of individuals and can also be associated with aspects of their personalities. Ham is recognized as the ancestor of the black people. If you have any black relatives in your family or lineage, know that you are a descendant of Ham. Ham. Likewise, if you are a black person watching this video, know that you are a descendant of Ham, the son of Noah. The Bible also mentions that Ham was a married man, having a wife, and that he was the father of 4 sons who became the patriarchs of the black people. Ham's sons are considered the fathers of various black nations and peoples, thus being the patriarchs of this lineage. The firstborn son of Ham and his wife was named Cush, also known as Cush. The meaning of the name Cush is literally black, making him the first patriarch of the black people and the first son of Ham, as well as the grandson of Noah. Cush is recognized as the ancestor of diverse peoples and lands, one of which is the kingdom of Cush. This ancient civilization flourished in the region of Upper Nile, located in present-day Sudan. The kingdom of Cush was known for being a prosperous and powerful civilization, with its capital in Meroe, which stood out for its trade and wealth. The kingdom existed for many centuries and exerted influence in other areas of Northeast Africa. Additionally, several other cultures and peoples in Sudan and adjacent regions may be considered descendants of Cush. Currently, it is not possible to accurately identify the land that the descendants of Cush, known as Cushites, inhabited, as they occupied regions in both Africa and southern Arabia. However, In ancient times, the Greeks referred to them as Ethiopians, which means burned faces or black faces, Over time, the term Cush came to be mainly associated with Ethiopia. Furthermore, it is believed that the Kassites of Mesopotamia are also descendants of Cush. The second son of Ham was named Misraim. He is the second patriarch of the black people, and his name in Hebrew literally means Egypt, which can also be interpreted as two Egypts or double fortress. The word Misraim derives from Mizr, which means fortress or fortified place. The plural form Misraim is used to refer to Egypt as a region with fortresses or as a land with distinct borders. As the name suggests, the descendants of Misraim are traditionally associated with the ancient Egyptian population that inhabited the region we now know as Egypt. The third son of Ham was called Phut, also known as Put in Hebrew. Some traditions may vary in transliterations of the original Hebrew texts into different languages, but his name is Put. The third son of Ham was named Put, which literally means a bow. This meaning refers to the ancient African tribes that were hunters and frequently used bows for hunting and obtaining their food. Put is considered the ancestor of Africans based on biblical references and other historical sources. Some theories suggest that the descendants of Put may be associated with regions both in Africa and the Middle East. Some of these regions include Libya, Somalia, Nubia, and other areas in East Africa. Besides the mentioned regions, broader interpretations of the Bible suggest that the descendants of Put may have inhabited other areas in East Africa. Lastly, we have the fourth son of Ham and the fourth grandson of Noah through Ham's lineage. His name is Canaan, which can be interpreted as lowlands or lands of Canaan. Canaan was not the ancestor of Africans, but of the famous Canaanites who inhabited the region of Canaan and were mentioned in various parts of the Bible, including the Old Testament. The Canaanites were a diverse ethnic group that occupied the region before the arrival of the Israelites. They ended up becoming the major rivals and enemies of the ancient Israelites. Canaan was also the cursed grandson of Noah due to an incident in which Ham saw his father naked and mocked him. As a consequence, Canaan was cursed. Many of Canaan's descendants worshipped demonic entities, which led to their downfall as they practiced the horrible act of sacrificing their own children to these creatures. Eventually, the descendants of Canaan were defeated by the Israelites, the sons of Ham, Cush, Misraim, and Put. They populated the African continent after the flood and also migrated to Asia, reaching Australia, where they intermingled with the descendants of Japheth, especially the tribe of Tagarma, forming united clans. From this union, indigenous peoples arose, with mixtures of both African and Caucasian peoples of Japheth's lineage, giving rise to some Asian groups as well. Furthermore, the descendants of Ham, through one of his sons, reached India and populated the region, becoming known as the Dravidian people. This was the story of Ham, considered the ancestor of the black people. Keep following our series, The Origins of Peoples According to the Bible. Soon we'll be back with more information about the sons of Ham, and later, delving into the history of each nation. Feel free to leave your suggestions about which peoples you would like to see represented, as we will soon make videos covering these topics. See you soon.